What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
You don't know what that order is, Mr. Trash. I'd show you, but I'm too old. I'm too tired. I'm too fucking blind. If I were the man I was 5 years ago, I'd take a flamethrower to this place.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
We've said it once, we've said it twice, we've said it a million times. The truth shall always set you free. This is Tim. Fuck your sensitivity. The mad ramblings of a Gen Xer. Oh, it's good to be back. We haven't done a show since December of last year, and there is a lot going on, and there's just so many things to talk about. And I want to get back into a regular rotation of doing the podcast. We've gotten a lot of requests over the last 4 or 5 months. Got a lot of guest requests as well. So we're going to bring it back. We're bringing it back. We're bringing it back old school. I don't even know what to talk about today because there's just so much to talk about. There's fucking aliens. Evidently, there's aliens everywhere. And I don't even know if they have a green card. Hey-oh. We could talk about the Democrats losing their fucking minds literally about everything.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Because that's what they treat us like. They treat us like we're all children. We have the war in Iran. We have oil prices exploding. We have so much going on. But I do want to talk about the war in Iran. Do want to talk about the Straits of Hormuz or whatever, however the fuck you pronounce it. That little strip of water that's causing all these problems. Listen, I want to talk about the artificial inflation of oil prices for a minute because I think a lot of people, you have so many Democrats that are harping on this. Gas prices are at their highest that it's ever been. Well, it's not because of inflation. It's not because of the American Rescue Act. It's not because of bad economic policies. It's because of the fact that they're being artificially manipulated by the commodities market. And we're going to get into that. But I want to talk about the Strait. And we're all straight here. Some of us might not be. Some of us could be. I don't know. But we're going to talk about the Straits of Hormuz. Who owns this little fucking bit of water? It's that territorial sea between multiple countries, 2 countries, which would be Iran and Oman. Iran controls the northern side of the strait. Oman controls the southern side. Now, most of the commercial shipping, which I find interesting, goes through the southern side, which is controlled by Oman. It was Oman. There's just, I don't know. But those shipping lanes where most of the tankers use, which I find interesting, go through that section, go through the southern side. And I mean, but honestly, if you think about it, the strait technically is not owned by any country. It's not owned by any one country. And that's what's kind of makes this situation extremely complicated. And it's one of those things that if you take a look at, the U.S. and many of their allies don't recognize the legal ownership of the strait between these 2 countries, between Iran and Oman. I mean, they're saying that, there's a difference between being territorial waters and international waters, international rights. Now, under maritime law, as they talk about, the coastal areas of a country usually are controlled 12 nautical miles of territorial sea from their shores, which means Iran controls 12 nautical miles and Oman controls the other 12 nautical miles. But since the strait is so narrow, these territorial waters kind of overlap, meaning that the entire straits basically could be lying inside either Iran or Oman. So this is why this is so fucked up. However, though, places like the United States and their allies consider it to be an international straits where ships have a foreign legal right to refer to what they refer to as transit passage, which basically means commercial tankers can pass through without needing permission. Military vessels can do the same thing. And coastal states cannot simply close the strait at will under international law. This little body of water is just under so much. It's under a microscope because you don't know what's going on. So Iran is using the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, their navy, which consists of a tugboat, a couple bathtubs. But no, they basically deployed little fast tacking boats. They're out of anti-ship mines. They're out of naval mines. They're basically running out of drones. And what they're doing right now is they are closing the strait. They are saying this strait is this 20-mile strip of water is all ours. We are declaring it. If you want to go through, you must pay the fucking toll. Now, Iran has repeatedly warned that it has the authority to close the strait and issue sanctions or tolls for the strait, and has the ability and the right to disrupt traffic. Now, Oman is extremely quiet about this because, like I said, they control the southern side. It's like the good witch of the north and the good witch of the south, and so they're basically neutral. They're playing the role of Switzerland. They're saying that we are the stabilizing force in this region, and it's important for us to help officially designate shipping traffic and lanes through these waters. But they don't. They don't know what to do. They don't want to get involved. Now, roughly 20% of the world's oil supply, of course, and a major share of global liquefied natural gas passes through the straits. Countries like China, India, Japan, South Korea, and most of the European nations depend on the strait, depend on this. Now, we basically depend less on this because we've done the right things, and we have strategically positioned the United States in a way that we are not dependent on the strait. But the bottom line is this: no one country owns it. Iran and Oman each control a part. International law guarantees the right of transit. No country can claim legal ownership and then just shut the shit down. And that's what they're doing. And this is what I don't understand. You have these countries. Now, listen, we don't want China or India to be out there, sitting there bringing in their navy. We don't need a naval confrontation. We've just had the UK send out one of the most advanced aircraft carriers, it's on the way. But you would think our allies, the European nations, South Korea and Japan, would be all gung-ho to come and get this thing fucking back opened again. But no, it just seems like, and I love it because the UK is like, well, we're going to, I love the UK and their allies, and especially France, they're discussing that once the strait has been neutralized and stabilized by, of course, the United States, they are going to send a peacekeeping force to help keep the strait open. But you are not sitting there. You're not with Israel. You're not with the United States. You're not coming in and saying, hey, listen, I want to make sure that people could use this body of water because it's actually hurting your own people. It's hurting the people in Japan. It's hurting the people in South Korea. It's hurting the people over in the UK. Hell, it's still hurting the people in China and India. You would think China, after Trump went there, would have exerted some pressure on Iran and said, hey, listen, guys. Listen, guys, you got to open this shit up. You got to get us going. You got to get the shit flowing again. But no, we're all just tiptoeing around Iran. Now, Iran is like that petulant child. You know, that one you always know, that one that's your friend always has this child who complains about everything, tries to be the bully, but as soon as another child pushes that child down or they get into a little scuff, that child cries and whines that everyone is against them. Well, I'm going to give you a little hint, Iran. Everyone is against you because you're being a fucking petulant child. You need to stop it. You need to turn around, put on your big boy pants, open the strait back up. Now, I think that's going to happen sooner than later. As this comes out, it may happen on Tuesday of this week when this podcast comes out, and we won't have to worry about this anymore. I mean, because right now, here is the biggest issue out of all of this. Here is the biggest problem that we see with all of this right now. It's the oil prices. Now, if the oil prices goes up, the gas prices go up. And the gas prices go up, everyone complains. Everyone complains that we're paying more at the pump, and I understand that. Hell, I have 2 V8s at home. I got a 6.4 V8 Hemi in one of my vehicles. But the problem is this. It is the manipulation of the oil prices, which is basically driving up these costs. It's amazing. Just yesterday, oil prices dropped, I think, from 100 and something to 90 in a day. It's not all of a sudden that the markets have this influx of oil. It's not all of a sudden that a new well was discovered and somehow we harnessed all that energy in 12 hours. No, it's the speculators now seeing the fact that, hell, at this point in time, prices are going to go down because of the fact that the strait's going to open up again. So we're now going to speculate that prices are going to go down and there's going to be more oil on the market. So what is our speculation with regards to what I like to refer to as paper barrels, because that's what you're physically trading on Wall Street. You're basically trading paper. So I call it paper barrels. So we're going to have more paper barrels now in the market. So we're speculating now that everything is going to go down. That's all it is. Physical oil trading has screwed us. This really started back in between the 80s and I think it was 1983. I think it was 1983 when it was Western Tech Intermediate was traded in regards to their crude oil futures. And then once you start trading the crude oil futures, you create an extremely volatile market because of the fact that people aren't speculating in regards to how much oil you have. People are speculating on how much money they can make. And that's what it is. And that's what we're looking at. So when OPEC decides, we're going to decrease oil by X, all of a sudden we'll have record-setting prices because the speculators are now saying, well, we're going to have to pay more for this. That's the thing. It's just speculation. And that's what's causing the problem. Because like I said, they are trading what I like to refer to as paper barrels. They're viewing the futures. They're viewing the options. They're electronically trading these things. And the market itself, sometimes the actual market value is 10 times greater than the physical demand. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes the market value is 10 times greater than the actual physical demand for oil. So sometimes the price of oil is speculated 10 times higher than regards to the amount of oil that's actually in the marketplace. So when you're hyper inflating the price of oil, which is unprecedented, and we're looking at this and we're seeing this. And for the first time, like I said, if you go back to April of 2020, which was during the pandemic, oil was actually trading negative 37.63. Think about that. It was the first time that a barrel of oil was negative. The commodities market, the speculation market, with the paper, like I said, the paper barrel market was trading negative $37.63 for a barrel of oil. It wasn't that we all of a sudden had this influx of all this oil. No, it's just they knew that people weren't going to be using it because of the pandemic. So all of a sudden the speculator says, we can't make money on this. We have to get away from this. So we're taking all of our monies and we're dropping it in other commodities like gold, silver, palladium, platinum. And that's the problem with this. The moment they started trading oil on the commodities market, the moment they started doing this, the moment they started a free market in reference to oil futures, it just went crazy. And it just went insane. So the moment that someone figured out, hey, listen, I can make money by speculating on oil, which will most of the time artificially inflate the price. And if I sell and get out before the drop, I'm going to make a shit ton of money for my investors and myself. So people need to be more upset with Wall Street than they do at times in reference to the politicians, because the politicians do not control what Wall Street does. It's like gold prices. Gold prices fluctuate so much, but gold prices right now, especially gold, silver, and palladium, are a commodity, a precious commodity, because of the fact that most of those are used to build components for computers, for missile chips, for all these other things, for Teslas, for electric vehicles. They are used for that. So until you find a true vein of silver, a true vein of gold or palladium or platinum, you trade commodities that way because of the fact that there is a demand, and that demand may exceed the actual supply, which then causes the price to rise. Oil is the exact difference. Oil, they're just speculating. Well, hell, you know what? There might be a hurricane, so we might have a delay in X, but we still have the same amount of oil we've always had, but there may be in the future a delay. So we're going to speculate the price is going to go higher, then the price is going to go up, then which increases the price at the pump, and everyone gets fucking mad. Oh, it's mind-boggling. And it's mind-boggling that people just sit there and they don't understand that. They're just thinking, well, we're not getting our oil from Iran. We don't get oil from Iran. We used to be, for one brief period of time, a net exporter of oil under Trump's last year. We have plenty of oil. We have plenty of refining capabilities. So this should not be affecting us here in the United States. But the problem is this: it's the speculators on Wall Street, which are fucking us all over. Oh, this was fun. Haven't done this in a while. Want to make sure we do it again. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Back again. That'd be Tim. That'd be Fuck Your Sensitivity, the Mad Ramblings of Gen Xer. We're going to try to do at least 2 shows to 3 shows a week, so make sure you stay tuned for that. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Rumble. You can find us on any place that podcasts our podcasts or video podcasts are found. Don't forget, the truth shall always set you free. The truth will always set you free. This is Tim. This is Funk Your Sensitivity, the Mad Realmies of a Gen Xer. And I'm out of here.